In this video, we are going to see how to solve systems of equations with three variables. The method that we are going to use is the substitution method. Now, when we saw systems of equations with two variables, we needed two equations to solve them. But now, since we have three variables, now we need three equations to solve it. Since we have three equations in this example, we can go ahead and solve by substitution. In substitution, we start by clearing one of the variables in one of the equations. It doesn't matter which one I pick or which equation I pick, but I usually start by clearing the one that it's easiest to clear. So if we watch here in the second equation, the x is by itself and it's already positive. So that one would be the easiest variable to clear. But in this case, I'm going to clear another one, so you can see how to clear when we get a fraction. Okay, so it could be any of the equations, but I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to clear x in the first equation. And when I do that, I get 2x equals 7. Okay, and I'm going to pass the 3y that's positive to the right side of the equation as negative, so minus 3y. And minus 5c passes as plus 5c. As you can see, when I write the letter C, I'm going to write that mark or that line in the middle of the letter, because sometimes you get confused between the letter C and number 2. So it's a good practice to, when you write letter C in algebra, to write that little line in the middle. Okay, I'll continue substituting. And I have 2x. Since I need x by itself, the 2 that's multiplying x passes dividing to the other side. And I get x equals 7 minus 3y plus 5c over 2. Okay, in this step, I am done clearing x. Now I know that x equals 7 minus 3y plus 5c over 2. I'm going to take the value of x that I cleared and substitute it inside the other equation, another equation. So I'm going to now work with equation 2. Okay, but now I'm going to substitute the value of x that I just cleared. So instead of writing x, I'm going to write what x is equal to. And x is equal to 7 minus 3y plus 5c over 2. Okay, that is the value of x that I found in the previous step. But now I'll continue writing equation 2. Equation 2 says that this is x, now minus 2y plus 3c equals 2. Now I'm going to simplify this equation to the simplest form that I can. So the first thing that I want to do is to get rid of this denominator, this fraction. To do that, one of the easiest way to do it is to multiply the whole equation times the number that I have in the denominator. In this case, it's number 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equations times 2. Because when I multiply times 2 and then divide over 2, I get what I had in the originally. So these both 2's cancel out, and I am left with 7 minus 3y plus 5c. Okay, that's what you get when you multiply the whole thing times the same number that you had in the denominator. But now the remaining part of the equation has to be multiplied times 2 as well. So minus 4 times y plus 6c equals 4. Okay, so now by multiplying everything times the number that I had in the denominator, I got rid of the fraction, and now I can simplify the equation. Minus 3y and minus 4y are common terms, so I can add them. In this case, it's minus 3y minus 4y. I get minus 7y. Now I also have a common term here with 5c and 6c, so I can add them. Plus 5 plus 6 is 11c. Now equals 4. And then the 7 that I have here, I'm going to pass it to the other side as minus 7. Now I can subtract 4 minus 7 minus 3. Okay, and we have minus 7y plus 11c on the left. Okay, since now I have y's, z's, and a constant number, I don't have common terms. So this is the simplest I can write this equation. I can't simplify anymore. Now, what we're going to do is now we're going to substitute the value of x that I cleared at the beginning, but now in the other equation. I already substituted in equation 2, but now I'm going to substitute the same value of x, but now in equation 3. Okay, so now I go to equation 3 and substitute the value of x. Equation 3 says that 3 times x, and x is 7 minus 3y plus 5c over 2. 3 times x minus y plus 2c equals 9. Okay, now I am going to multiply 3 times what I have in the parentheses. 3 times 7 is 21 minus 3 times 3y is 9y plus 3 times 5c is 15c over 2. Okay, remember that when you multiply an integer times a fraction, your integer is as if it had a 1 beneath it. So you multiply 3 times the number in your numerator, and then 1 multiplies the denominator, so that's why your denominator stays the same. Okay, so I have 21 minus 9y plus 15c over 2 minus y plus 2c equals 9. Now, in order to get rid of this denominator, what I have to do is to multiply both sides of the equation times the number that I have in the denominator. In this case, times 2. So I will multiply everything times 2. So when I multiply times 2 and divide over 2, the 2 cancels out. And I am left with what I had in the numerator, 21 minus 9y plus 15c. But then that minus y plus 2c equals 9 has to be multiplied times 2. So minus 2y plus 4c equals 18. Okay, so all of this has to be multiplied times 2. Okay, don't forget that. Now I can simplify by common terms. Minus 9y and minus 2y. That's minus 11y. Now I have 15c and 4c. That gives us 19c. Okay, and that 21, I'm going to pass it to the right with the 18. So equals 18 minus 21. Okay, so minus 11y plus 19c equals 18 minus 21 equals minus 3. Okay, I am now in the simplest form of this equation. I can't simplify anymore because I don't have common terms. So now I have this new equation. Okay, but if we see our equations, we notice that here in equation, what I got here in equation 2 and what I got with equation 3, I got two new equations that they have the same letter. They have y and c. So with these two equations, I can build a new system of equations with two variables and solve it just as I did before in our previous topic. So I'm going to write my new system. My new system is going to be from the equation that I got in equation 2, minus 7y plus 11c equals minus 3. And from equation 3, I got that minus 11y plus 19c equals minus 3. Okay, now I have a new system. Then I can solve again by substitution. So let's see if it fits here on the right side of the screen. I'm going to clear the same letter in both of them. I'm going to choose to clear C. So from the first equation, I'm going to call it A, so it's a different number. So from equation A, I'm going to get that C equals minus 3, okay, and then positive 7y, and the 11 passes dividing over 11. Now I'm going to take that value of C and substitute it in equation B. From equation B, I get that minus 11y plus 19c, but I know now that C is minus 3 plus 7y over 11. I got that from here, from C, equals minus 3. So equals minus 3. Okay, now I will solve first the multiplication that I have here of 19 times C. Okay, so it's minus 11y plus 19 times minus 3 is minus 15.9. So I have to change that positive. Erase it. There. Okay, we said that 19 times minus 3 is minus 57. So minus 57. Now 19 times 7y is 133y. So plus 133y. And both of these numbers are being divided over 11 equals to minus 3. Now I have to get rid of that fraction. So I'm going to do that by multiplying the whole thing times 11. And 11 times minus 11y is minus 121y. And this 11 gets cancelled out. And we're left with minus 57 plus 133y equals minus 3 times 11 is minus 33. Okay, now that we do that, we are going to simplify, and we are going to add minus 121y plus 133y, and that gives us 12y minus 57 equals minus 33. We clear? 12y equals minus 33 plus 57. 12y equals 24. Now y equals 24 over 12, which is 2. Okay, now we found the value of y. We still have to find the value of x and the value of c, but since we already have the first value, the other ones you're going to see that are quicker to find. Let's see how. We want to look for an equation that has y in it, the one that I just found, and another letter, just one of them. And if I go a little bit back here, when I cleared C, I clear it and it has only one y in it. So I can substitute the value that I just found of y in that equation to find the value of C. Since I don't have much space here, I'm going to use this empty space that I have. So it says C equals minus 3 plus 7 times y, which I just said is 2, over 11. C equals minus 3 plus 7 times 2 is 14, over 11. C equals minus 3 plus 14, which is 11, over 11. and 11 over 11 is 1. Okay, now I found the value of c, that is 1. So now I have the value of y, the value of c. The one that's remaining is the value of x. And that's the one that I cleared at the beginning when I cleared the first variable. I have it here. So if I substitute the value of x that I found and the value of y in that equation, I'm going to finish solving my problem. I don't have much space, but I'm going to use the small space that I have on the top to solve it. Let's use a different color. So the equation says x equals 7 minus 3 times y that I just said, that is 2, plus 5 times c that I just found out, that is 1. All of that over 2. X equals 7 minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. 5 times 1 is 5 over 2. Let's continue to the right. 7 minus 6 is 1, and 1 plus 5 is 6, so 6 over 2. And 6 over 2 is 3. So now I found that x equals 3. And I finished solving this system of equations with 3 variables. I have here the values that we got: x equals 3, y equals 2, and c equals 1. Now we are going to check if our solution was correct. And we are going to check by substituting our answers in our 3 equations. Let's start by checking in the first equation. 2 times x, that's 3, plus 3 times y, which is 2, minus 5 times z, which is 1, equals 7. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3 times 2 is 6, minus 5 times 1 is minus 5, equals 7. 6 plus 6 is 12, and 12 minus 5 is 7. So since 7 equals 7, we are correct. Now we will check in the second equation, equation 2. It says that x, which is 3, minus 2 times y, which is 2, plus 3 times c, which is 1, equals 2. 3 minus 2 times 2 is minus 4. 3 times 1 is 3, equals 2. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Minus 1 plus 3 is 2. So 2 equals 2. We are correct. Now let's check the third equation. Okay, the third equation says that 3 times x, which is 3, minus y, which is 2, plus 2 times c, which is 1, should be equal to 9. 3 times 3 is 9, minus 2, plus 2 times 1 is 2, equals 9. 9 minus 2 plus 2. So minus 2 plus 2 gets cancelled out, and we have that 9 equals 9. We are correct. Great, so now this was how to solve a system of equations with 3 variables by substitution. Thank you for watching this video.